these are issues that are very much on your mind. And with all that's happening in the world today, thank you so much. Thank you, Michael. With all that's happening. No, forget it. I know we've got the NCAA tournament, but I'm not that size. Very small. All right. Okay, I think this will be fine. And with all that's happening in the world today and the challenges that, can you all hear me? You're okay?
Yes.
And the challenges that Israel faces, I really believe that the ultimate challenge has to do with Ruach Yisrael, with the spiritual direction in which Am Yisrael is going. And it has to do with issues of Achdut Yisrael, of unity of Israel. And even though tonight I'm going to be offering distinctions between modern Orthodoxy and the Orthodox Rite, I do so in the spirit of love. And if there's anybody here who's involved with the Orthodox Rite community, I want to encourage you, seek out your passion and go for it, because in its way, it's a very beautiful community and makes an extraordinary contribution to Am Yisrael. As you know, I can't speak unless we first sing, of course. We must. So, in the spirit of what's happening in Israel, let's join together in singing Leman Achai V'Re'ai because of our brothers and friends and sisters and friends. Please let me sing, please let me say, peace to you. Words in our tefillah should really be jumping out of the page. When we were saying tonight the Havdalah, Hinei kel Yeshuati eftach v'lo echad. Hinei kel Yeshuati, behold God, you are my salvation, lo echad. I do not tremble. And then we say, La Yudim Haita Ora V'Simcha V'Sason Bikar. Those words are important words. And even though, as you know, our culture is one that we have to help God out in the Brit and in our contractual arrangement with Him, in the end, the older I become, the more convinced I am that so much is in the hands of God. So in that spirit, with all that has happened in Itamar, let's join together. Leman Achai V'Re'ai, Leman Achai V'Re'ai, Adabrana, Adabrana, Shalom, because of our brothers and friends, because of our sisters and friends. Please let me sing, please let me say peace to you. Now we need some good harmony. This is the house of the Lord. I wish the best for you. This is the house of the Lord. I wish the best for you. Leman Achai V'Re'ai, Leman Achai V'Re'ai, Adabrana, Adabrana, Shalom Bach, Leman Bet Hashem Elokeinu Avav Shatov Lach, Leman Bet Hashem Elokeinu Avav Shatov Lach, da-da-da-da-da-da. first session, we tried to outline the mission of Yahadut, the mission of Judaism, to bring ethical monotheism into the world. And we then pointed out how modern, or what I call open orthodoxy, takes a distinct path in realizing this goal. We noted that modern orthodoxy is distinct from conservative Judaism in its belief in what is called heteronomous law. That means Torah min hashamayim. Your rabbi believes that every word of the Torah comes from God. And even if I don't understand some of the passages, I still submit to that Torah. And we offered a distinction between modern orthodoxy and conservatism in how rabbinic decisions are made. In modern orthodoxy, the decisor of law makes decisions based on what I have come to call cumulative law. That means that a contemporary posek issues judgments based on a full history of Jewish legal precedent. In contrast, the implicit argument of the conservative movement is that precedent provides illustrations of possible positions rather than binding law. And conservatism, therefore, remains free to select whichever position within the prior legal history that appeals to it. Now, if you didn't quite catch that, we spent about 30 minutes on it last time, and you can go to the video. I just wanted to touch on what we did discuss and add yet another distinction between modern orthodoxy and the conservative movement. Modern orthodoxy posits that permissive customs can only be viewed as binding if accepted by the religiously observant community. In other words, it cannot be viewed as binding if it is only accepted by those who are in any case not committed to observing law, to observing the halakha. Surveys indicate that large numbers of observant Jews are only coming from the Orthodox community. Not enough are coming from our counterparts in the conservative community. Let me give you an example. I don't think that women's prayer groups would have gained any traction in the modern Orthodox community were not the participants in those groups committed to halachic observance. If you want to move forward in halakha, then the people who are going to play a central role with the rabbis must be committed to that halakha, must be committed to halachic observance. Truth be told, the conservative movement today is veering left and is debating, there are debates now at the seminary, whether to continue its policy of submitting to halakha rather than, like the reform movement, being guided by the halakha without making a commitment to submitting to the halakha. But my contention is that even if its approach is to submit to halakha, as we've pointed out, the modern Orthodox approach to halakha is very different than the conservative one. That's just a quick review of what we did the last time, and even if you didn't catch that, I want to move ahead in this second session and take us in a different direction. What I'd like to do this evening, this Motzei Shabbat, Parshat Para, Parshat Shmini, Taf Shin Ayin Aleph, is outlined with some detail how modern Orthodoxy differs from the Orthodox Rite. Now, what does Orthodox Rite mean? Some people call it the black hat community. We're the Srugi community, the black hat community, or is it the Haredi world? We'll be using the term Orthodox Rite, and I use that term with the utmost respect. And then, once we see in detail how the modern Orthodox community differs with the Orthodox Rite, we'll see whether these differences have some common denominator. We begin in discussing three elements which make up the community of Israel: Torah Israel, Am Israel, and Eretz Israel. The Torah of Israel, the people of Israel, and the land of Israel. When you think about mission, mission is always a vision for the Jewish people and through the Jewish people for the larger world. V'shamru derech Hashem, as we discussed last time, Nasot, Tzedakah u'mishpat. And covenant in the Torah not only is mission, as it's articulated in Sefer Breshit, but covenant in the Torah always involves land and always involves people. In the Torah, children. L'zaracha etein et haaretz hazot. So it's Torah Israel and Am Yisrael and Eretz Israel. Let's begin with Torah Israel. In the area of Torah Israel, we disagree respectfully with the Orthodox Rite on the issue of Kodesh V'Chol. And let me say this right at the top, that there are always gradations and there are distinctions, and within the modern Orthodox community, within the Orthodox Rite, one must be nuanced because there are differences. But still, for the sake of discussion, I want to speak in a generic way. And I think generically it is safe to say that on Torah Israel, the modern Orthodox disagrees with the Orthodox Rite on the issue of Kodesh V'Chol, the holy and the profane. For the Orthodox Rite, disciplines that are not pure Torah are chol. Disciplines that are not pure Torah are chol. They're profane. If it's Torah, it's holy. If it's not Torah, it's not holy. In fact, the only reason one studies chol is to better understand Kodesh. And so, study chemistry, for example. Why? Well, if we know chemistry, we will be in a better position to evaluate the kashrut of food products. Study astronomy, so we'll be in a better position to perhaps calculate when the new moon rises.